Right, I don't know whether this question has been asked before or not, or since between 2020 and 2025. But what's gone so wrong with our fellow Irish men and women? And the majority of them don't seem to care what's happening in Ireland from between 2020 and 2025. It started out with a so-called virus that was sprung on everyone practically overnight. It continued on with immigration, predominantly from non-EU countries. Hence the reason you have so many thousands of unvetted male immigrants in the country today. Do you, our fellow Irish men and women, honestly think that you have to accept everything that you were told to do, instructed to do, by the type of people that's attempting to govern this country? The majority just don't seem to realise the extent of what's happened in Ireland since between 2020 and 2025. But Ireland is changing big time. The young children of today are Ireland's future. So what is Ireland going to be like when they reach young adult stage? Why are the majority of parents and grandparents not doing something about protecting their loved ones' future? Pre-social media, which is what, 40 years ago? Yes, the majority of people might have had to accept what was going on because Ireland was very, very dangerous at that time, pre-social media, due to De Valera and co. But since social media, it means that people don't really have to accept what those attempting to govern Ireland instructs them to do, or leads them to do, or tells them to do. Because folks, at the end of the day, the two longest parties, Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael, they were all elected as a result of the suspicious act that has always been attached to uncounted votes exiting your polling stations after voting hours. That's how the majority of today's political representatives, predominantly Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael, have been repeatedly elected and have been part of Irish government since 1933, which is 92 years attempted to govern Ireland and being part of it. In modern day Ireland, we don't even know what we're doing with the government because, folks, Ireland has obviously been sold out to the EU, the UN, the WEF and the WHO. Right, voters were led to believe that they voted in favour of the EU. But folks, due to the suspicious act of uncounted votes exiting your polling station after voting hours down through the decades, is Ireland even legally involved in the EU? Once again, it comes down to the suspicious act of uncounted votes exiting polling stations after voting hours, which has repeatedly went on over the past 100 years. No, lads and lassies, if you don't start standing up, this is in reference to our fellow Irish men and women. If you don't start standing up, speaking up, and getting active, Ireland's problems are bad now, but they will multiply if the majority of men and women do absolutely nothing about it. Your predominant political parties that have involvement in governing Ireland no longer has any respect for you people. What happens when someone or somebody is left in a position for too long? For far too long in Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael's case, they become complacent guys. And that's what has happened all governing departments. They don't care. You'd be blind if you didn't see that throughout the past couple of years with the stunts they have pulled on an unsuspected population. So guys, our fellow men and women, you don't have to accept everything that you're instructed to do by what's attempting to govern the country on a daily basis. It's even questionable how legal they are in their positions, being part of Irish government, due once again to the suspicious act of uncounted votes exiting polling stations. So please, for your own sake, especially parents, grandparents, Ireland is bad now, just after 5 years. But what is it going to be like in another 10, 15, 20 years when today's young children become young adults? What sort of an Ireland are they going to face? And it'll be always reflected back in you, mommy and daddy, granny and granddad. Why did you not do this, that and the other for us when you've seen Ireland's downfall and what was beginning to happen? We can't accommodate our own people, our own fellow Irish men and women and children, but we can accommodate everybody else, apparently. We can even fund them. But that's taxpayers' money, which the majority also remain mute and quiet and accept everything that the government of the day throws at them. But guys, is it not time to put your acts and minds together and do something about Ireland's current problems before it ends up like what most of these male immigrants has fled from, countries of ghettos and shacks? Because unless the people of Ireland start bonding together, nothing will ever be done about any crisis, which the three main crises across Ireland are, and it's not today or yesterday: health, housing, homelessness. Just think the type of the morning that it is this morning, and it was last night. And many people are roughly sleeping out there in all types of weather this time of the year. That's all as a result of what's attempted to govern the country. So please guys, for your own sake, if you don't want your children, God only knows what's it going to be like in 10, 15, 20 years when your young children of today reach young adult stage. What are they going to have to face? What are they going to have to confront Folks, it's time we all pull together, every man and woman on this little island of Ireland, and started standing up to what's attempting to govern Ireland after a century. Okay? Because if we don't do anything about it, things are going to get an awful lot worse. No doubt about it. And whose fault is it? Mine, yours, and everybody else's. To allow an element, dictate, instruct, tell us what to do. It's time the adults of Ireland stood up and let what's allowed, let what's governing the country know that we are not school kids anymore, and we will not accept much more bullshit from them. Times, guys, if you want to decrease the numbers of in Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael public representatives, we must prioritise doing something about the suspicious act of uncounted votes exiting polling stations after voting hours. That is the only reason that Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael has so many political representatives countrywide today. Okay, guys, hopefully Irish men and women can unite together and do something that will save and protect their country from even more damage than what already has been done from 2020 to 2025. Right, guys, have a nice day.